Hey sockets, so I don't know why I got my camera like on my mirror, on my dashboard thing, but here we are. This video is about to be raw and uncut. It's about grief. If I shed a little tear, don't judge me because you guys are my village and that's just what it is. We cry over here. We love a tear, baby. We love a tear. I'm about to go to the cemetery to do this video because I feel like that's just the raw as it can get. I'm about to go to my mom and my grandmother's burial site. And again, this video is going to be the transparent truth about grief. I'm going to give you resources that help me get through my journey, that's helping me get through my journey because you know it's an ongoing process. I'm going to give you the books and just the things that help me get through, or not even get through because I said this is an ongoing thing. I'm going to give you the tools and the necessary things I feel like could help you during your process of grief and finding your life at the loss. So, yeah. Happy Tuesday. Okay, y'all, it's so crazy because Lulu knows exactly where we are. Look at him. He knows where my mommy is. So my mom is buried in a mausoleum, right? So that means that she is in the wall. She is not in the ground. So this is my mommy, y'all. And these tired, ugly, old-fashioned flowers, girl. I know you probably like, yeah, no. It's giving spider. Oh, no. I got to come change these flowers, baby. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't come here often. I don't come here often because, for one, I feel personally that my mom is inside of me, inside of Major, inside of Aries, inside of Tip, inside of my brother, inside of my sister. She's inside of like all of us, right? I don't think the spirit dies. I know for a fact the spirit doesn't die. So coming to the cemetery is not necessarily a thing that I do because I feel like if I want to talk to my mom, I can look in the mirror and talk to her. It is comforting, though, to come to where her body is, her shell is. So I come here on the days that I'm having a really bad day. I remember one time I was having a really bad day. This is before I got to like this place of peace, before I accepted her death. Like, acceptance is something that, I can't breathe. Acceptance is something that you get to when you really fully are like, okay, they're gone. You know, it took me a while. My mom has been gone now for 4 years and months. You know what I'm saying? She died 2/22/19. Her car accident was February the 11th. So I say, just to be transparent with myself, that she passed on that day because my mom was brain dead from day one. But I decided to pull the plug on her because when you think about it, people don't be wanting to be in no hospital plugged up to the machines. And if you remember her on the show, my mom was vibrant. She was full of life. You know, she was like me, but just a little 2.0. And I just know her laying there was just giving, take me off. You know what I'm saying? She used to always say, my mom, one thing about my mom, she was very spiritual. And she knew that she had a mansion in the sky. She always would tell me that. And she always would say, like, my head is going to get cold one day. And if my head get cold and you have the option of resuscitating me, don't do it. Let me go. I have lived my life. I have done what I want to do. So when the time was up for me to decide, because I was her power of attorney, I was like, we're not going to resuscitate. Me and my grandma went back and forth about it. My grandma was like, we should let her stay here. We should go to hospice and we should do this and that. I'm like, my mom already told me this, you know. My mama also told me she wanted to be in a mausoleum. She used to say, don't put me in the ground. I used to always joke with her like, you ain't going to know if you in the ground, but I don't want her coming back to hunt me either. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, y'all, getting to a place of peace is very rewarding because I never thought I would get here. It was times where I would cry every day thinking about my mom. I couldn't even say my mom passed. I would say my mom was on a long vacation. My mom, she's out of town and she ain't called me. But then it was like reality was my mama would always call me 24/7 of the day. So her being out of town, that meant anything because she would call me still. So it was a very harsh reality that I had to really just come to terms with. I'm like, girl, you really left me. But then I changed it, and I changed the trajectory, and I just changed the way I looked at it. But it takes time, and you have to have patience. I think people, when it comes to grief, they try to rush their process. You can't rush your process. You also can't compare your process to other people, because my mom died in a car accident, right? Tragically. I'm doing lashes at the time. I remember her calling me, and I'm like, I'm gonna call you right back, I'm doing lashes. The next thing I know, my niece is calling me saying that she got into a car accident. Next thing I know, I'm going to the hospital, and literally they're like, she ain't gonna make it, she's brain dead. So it was very traumatic for me, like traumatic, like, and I think I fought through so many. You know, it's 5 stages of grief. When my mom passed, I went through denial, she ain't gone. I was angry with God. I don't know who says, like, you can't question God, baby. I question God, because why you take my mama? It's so many people that do so many evil things that I know it's time for them to go, but why you take her? But I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, this is life. And that's why you have to be intentional. You have to be, you just gotta be. You have to be intentional, and you have to just be appreciative of the people that we have in our lives, because we're on borrowed time, and we don't know when our time is up. That's why you gotta love on your people, get in their flowers. I went through a lot of things, and it took me 4 years, y'all, 4 years to get to a place of peace. That is the number one thing I pray for. I pray for peace. There was a time where I would come to the cemetery and just cry. I couldn't be here right now. I really feel like a sense of like peace being at the cemetery. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom's death took a toll on me, and I didn't think I was gonna ever get to this place where I'm smiling, where I'm sharing the gospel, where I'm sharing Bible verses with my friends. I just never thought I'd get here. So my mom, her death, it took a lot. I was depressed. I tried to commit suicide. And I'm being transparent with y'all, because y'all my sidekicks. I tried to commit suicide, but God said, I have another plan for you. And you gotta be here for Aries. You gotta be here for yourself, but you have to be here for your niece. My niece needed me, and I needed her. Be patient with yourself. It's people that have lost their moms, their dads, their grandmothers, their kids, years ago, and they still deal with it. It's an everyday thing. That's why you have to be intentional about having good days. When their birthday come up, you have to be intentional about still celebrating them. When their anniversary for them, you know, gaining their wings comes up, you have to be intentional about still celebrating them, because they didn't die. This is the shell that we live in, right? This is a shell. So when you understand that, this is a shell. Her physical body is in here, but she lives inside of me. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for the times that we had. I laughed so many. It'd be so many days I look at videos of us, and there was a time where I couldn't look at videos. Oh. Not hey that baby, I'm screaming. But there was a time where I couldn't look at videos. I couldn't look at videos of her because it would make me super sad. But then now I look at videos and I laugh my ass off, because she was funny. She was very, very funny. Like, she used to make me laugh just doing nothing. So that's what I'm thankful for. I had 31 years with my mom, and baby, let me tell you something. Those were the best 31 years. Things that she used to tell me now I put into perspective, and now I'm like, dang, you was right. From people to things to these men. She used to tell me about little stuff, and now I'm tapping in. And it's so crazy, guys, because I saw a TikTok, right? And it said to give God this is crazy why I'm doing this right now. Give God a password. You and God have a password. And my password was yellow butterflies. And the TikTok basically said, give God a password. And if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, right, he's going to show up the password. Only he knows the password. Y'all, why I just seen a yellow butterfly? That was my password. I just saw a yellow butterfly fly by. So I'm just thankful. Like I said, you have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself grace, because you are doing the best you can. Like, when you going through depression, even if you just woke up this morning and made your bed, I'm proud of you. Even if you got up this morning to brush your teeth, to wash your ass, I'm proud of you. Because there were many nights or many days I would get up. Like, there were many days I would get up and I didn't do none of that. Brush my teeth, wash my face. I couldn't do it. But then it's like, you're doing it. And don't feel sorry for crying. If you are dealing with the loss and somebody can't relate to the loss, don't expect them to be there for you. They don't know how. They don't know how it is to lose their mom or their dad or their child or their grandparents. They don't know how. So give yourself grace and give them grace too. Because they don't know how. They don't know what to do or what to say. And if you're dealing with somebody who is dealing with the loss that you can't relate to, don't try to say anything. Just be there for them. Let them know that you're continuously praying for them. Let them know that you have not left their side. Let them know that you have not left their side and that you're going to always give them prayer and comfort. But if you can't relate to the loss, don't say anything. Just being there, I'm telling you now, just being there is all they need. This right here is what you call strength. This is strength. Coming to my mom's gravesite, no tears in my eyes. And a tear is cool. Don't get it twisted. A tear is definitely cool. But just coming here knowing that she did the best she could. She was the best mom ever. And when it comes down to it, I'm thankful. This is strength, though, y'all. I'm telling you, if I could do it, I want to be a prime example that if I can do it, you could do it. Because if y'all know, me and my mom were the closest of the close. And I will include some clips in here so you can see if you've never seen us in action. My best friend, I lost my number one cheerleader. You know, she passed at the peak of my entrepreneurship. That fell because I was so lost, but God is good. And you have to know that you know God is so good. Because when I tell you, like, I'm getting a little teary-eyed now because God is so good, y'all. I never, ever thought that I would get to this place. I be so thankful that I have gotten so close to God and he never left my side. Like, God never took his hands off me. Me coming here now has proved that God is real. Even with tears in my eyes, but nothing wrong with a tear. You know, I love a tear. I love a sweat too, obviously, but God is so good and he's so intentional. If you just trust him and just give him, you know, your whole heart and just understand that he is never going to leave you or forsake you. In the midst of every storm, he is going to be there for you and with you. He's never going to leave you. I didn't suffer with God. I didn't cry with God. I didn't gave up almost on God. I didn't question God. But God has always been right there saying, I got you. When my mom passed, I didn't think I was going to ever be okay. And it doesn't get, you know, easier. It gets manageable. I've managed my days. I know how to maneuver now through life. Knowing that she still see me, I can't physically see her. I can't physically hug her, you know, give her a kiss. I can't pick up the phone and talk to her. But I always just hold my heart and just talk to her. I talk to her in the car. I talk to her wherever. But I'm thankful, y'all. Like I said, I'm teary-eyed now because I just never thought I would be here. I never thought I would be okay with just not, I never thought I would be at peace. And I'm so thankful because God, he could have literally said, you know what, you want to commit suicide? Go ahead. Go ahead and do it. But God's so good. This is peace. This is peace. Internal peace. This is happiness. This is strength. Now my grandma, I always get lost. Well, I don't be knowing where she buried at because she is by her husband. All right, y'all. So I'm over here crying like a baby because this is my first time seeing it. See how grief works? This is my first time seeing it. So I think that seeing this makes it very, you know, it makes it, I guess, official. You feel me? With my grandma's death, it was more so spiritual. I got baptized, you know what I'm saying? My grandma was very, very spiritual, went to church every Sunday, but that didn't make her spiritual. She was spiritual because she not only read the Bible or read the word, she believed in the word and she lived her life by the word. My grandma, 86 years old, the sweetest lady ever. I always had the best advice. I always knew what to say. You know, somebody just always know what to say. Like you could call her through whatever you're going through, she gonna always know what to say. So my grandma's death, it took a toll on me too. Don't get it twisted, because my grandma, again, I talked to her the next day in the hospital. Next day, I went to go see her. She just stopped talking altogether. But my grandma was crazy. Me and my grandma was so close. When I told my grandma that I was at peace, my grandma was like, "You sure you at peace?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure I'm at peace." And she was like, "You sure?" And I think she knew that, she was ready to go, because you're not supposed to bury your child at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? My mom and my grandma were super close. And that was her firstborn. My grandma had my mom at 17. Grandma would look out her window when my mom passed. Like, I seen a car that looked like Precious car. So when my mom died, it just took a toll on her. So when I told my grandma that I was at peace, she was literally like, "You sure?" And then like 2 weeks later, y'all, she passed away. So I'm thankful for my grandma. Like I said, I'm crying because it's my first time actually seeing her headstone. But it'll be a year, September 1st, next month. And I'm just so thankful just that God chose them to be my mama and grandma. Like, I love them ladies to the core. And every day is a struggle just to make them proud. I just want to make them proud. I'm doing what they would want me to do. Spread the gospel to my friends and just walk in my purpose and just shed love and light. Just know that you are doing the best that you can. It's literally one day at a time. Continue to ask God for guidance. Ask God for peace. Ask God for peace. Like, you're strong. You've been through some things to show that you're strong. Ask God for peace over our understanding, and you are going to be okay. So, one day at a time. God is so good. Whew. Thank you, Jesus. So my camera was really hot, but I hope that you guys get a little healing from my words. Just take yourself one day at a time, honestly. Don't take yourself too fast. I'm always here. I am a grief coach, so I don't mind putting my email right here. Make sure you email me, and I can help you find your life at the loss. The books, though, I do want to give you some recommendations of books that I used to help me just get through, a couple of little books that helped me get through my grief. The number one thing, because I did lose my mom, is Things I Wish I Knew Before My Mom Died. That book is just very inspirational, and it's just a good insight about like the death of your mom. And also Grief is Love. That book is also a good book too. I started to meditate. Meditation is something that I have incorporated in my life. Every morning I meditate. I post it also on my Instagram. 15 minutes and just shutting out the world and just tapping into your spirit, into your mind, and just setting intentions for the day. I also started to journal. Journaling has helped me just write down my thoughts. I wrote a letter to my mom one time. I also lost my son, so I also wrote a letter to him as well. And I put it in my mom's slot in her mausoleum. But yeah, journaling, y'all, and just really just being around people that understand that you are going to forever miss your person, but they're going to make it their business to make sure that you are always in good spirits. Will you have your days? Hell yeah, I have my days. Don't get it twisted. I actually cried the other night because my niece is going to college, and I'm just like, dang, but when you hit like certain accomplishments or certain milestones, you kind of get in your feelings, but God is good. So give yourself grace once again. Drinking, smoking, things of that nature. I did it all, trying to suppress my pain. But when I woke up and knowing that I have a hangover, when I came back to reality, the reality is they're gone. So again, I am a grief coach. I'm here to help you. I'm always here for inspiration and motivation. And you're going to be okay. This too shall pass. So if you're going through the grieving process right now, just give yourself grace. I can't say that enough. Give yourself grace. Pray for peace, and just know that God got you. Love y'all.